out to Socrates. Socrates still trying to get the opening. Oh, Socrates! Whoa!
And there it is. The crazy gang have beaten the Culture Club.
Maggie Thatcher, can you hear me? Maggie Thatcher, your boys took a hell of a beating. Your boys took a hell of a beating.
Welcome, Gary Thacker. There seems to be an extra seat around the table now at Your Boys Took Hell of a Beating. Please state your name and what I would like as well is your 1980s credibility, please.
Well, I guess, Gary Thacker. So, looking to fill that empty seat. 1980s. Well, I guess one of the advantages I've got of the guys already in position is I'm a little bit older. So in the 80s, I'd be mid-80s, I'd be 30. So I'd look at it I want to with a more mature view because it suggests the other guys haven't got a mature view, but certainly from a different perspective because of my age, I think. So I think I can offer a different viewpoint.
Excellent start. Tell me a few things culturally about the 1980s. What was Gary Thacker doing as a job in the 1980s? What was his status as a family man? Fashions, music sense? What were you watching on television? Give us a rounder view of that kind of like Gary Thacker of the 1980s.
Well, as I mentioned, I was mid-30s. Regarding work-wise, I joined a quarrying, transport and recycling company straight from school as a Weybridge clerk. And by the time mid-30s, I was the director of the company. I was director by the time I was 40. So towards the end of the 80s, I'd become a director of the company. So I rose rapidly through that. So I suppose professionally very successful. I was married. Both the kids were born by the end of the 80s. Daughter's now, I'm ashamed to say, is 40, which is ridiculous. My son's nearly 40. So, this is, we're talking a long time ago. So, we had two kids that stage. I was also working through my university degree. I did a degree in political science and economics at the Open University. So I was doing that. I guess films at the time, I did a lot of research on films. I didn't realise so many great films came out in the 80s. Film particularly I liked. I mean, one of my favourite films of all time, Blade Runner, came out in the 80s. And
excellent choice.
Yeah, you have to ignore the remake because that's garbage. You should never mess with the classics. Nobody makes Macbeth 2024. It's nonsense. So, I think, Blade Runner, Raging Bull, Terminator, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, probably the best Star Wars film.
Definitely.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark came out as well. Brilliant. On a more sort of comedy thing, you got Crocodile Dundee, Beverly Hills Cop, and Ghostbusters. Big was also another classic film, Dead Poets Society, which is a classic film, and I used that for a title for one of the first articles I ever wrote. Die Hard, the best Christmas movie, although people were arguing this is a Christmas movie. But yes, a great with odd films, classic, the odd music. There's one thing I want to look back. The Police released Every Breath You Take in the 80s, which is okay, but it was used brilliantly by the end of Spitting Image. When they, I think it was the last episode, they put it at the end as the closing music. Every breath you take, I'll be watching you. Because it was satire, obviously, in the 80s. It was brilliantly made up. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean was out as well. Obviously, a lot of people were still around at the time. Prince, Purple Rain, a classic piece of music as well. So, that was sort of culturally. TV, one of my favourite guilty pleasures is Blake Seven. Blake Seven, the best piece of British drama ever produced.
Far more acceptable than Doctor Who.
For God's sake. It was a classic. If you're old enough to remember Crossroads, Steve, the scenery always fell about, moved a bit when people moved. And it was pretty much the same on Blake Seven. It was like a school play. And with regards to the expense that laid out to put it on, but so that was my sort of TV guilty secret. So that was pretty much me, I guess. I say professionally successful, married, two young kids, studying as well. So it was a pretty hectic time for me. I used to come home from work and lock myself up in the study and get my sort of university stuff done. I had to take summer school as well to go in the 80s, and it was a pretty hectic time for me, family-wise, socially and professionally.
Going back to television, crucial question in all interviews that have taken place for this part of this podcast. Thoughts on Blue Peter as a television programme?
I guess by the 80s, I pretty much was outgrown it. Interesting, I suppose, at times, but it became a bit sort of, a bit tired as time went on. I guess as a kid, so when I was younger, because obviously Blue Peter on for ages, It was one of sort of Christopher Trice was on it originally, and Valerie Singleton. But by the time he moved on, this was the time of Peter Purvis and the guy who did Get Down Ship, which was released as a song in the 80s as well. John Noakes. So it almost became a bit of a parody of itself. I'm not sure if that's the sort of right answer, but I guess from my point of view, I was a bit too old to watch it by the 80s, in fairness.
I'm sensing a little bit of sitting on the fence there. I mean,
right.
For me, it was all for kind of like the middle class kids, those who went to scouts and all that type of stuff. Borderline. At my worst, I would rate it as being programming for the Thatcher youth.
Well, I never had a Blue Peter badge, Steve. So I suppose that's
this is good to hear because
I was pure.
I mean, I've mentioned it on previous interviews that at our school, at my social circle, if you'd done anything of note and you told people about it out of a sense of kind of like muted pride at the very least, the general response would be, not congratulations, but what do you want, a Blue Peter badge? So this is where we're set at Blue Peter on Your Boys Took a Hell of a Reason.
It's interesting you mentioned about the about the sort of the conservative kids, the middle class kids. I guess most of the BBC was, especially for the younger viewers at that stage. I mean, even on the other side, you had Magpie with Steven Scragg, and I can't remember the guy who was on this, but that was very much of a similar sort of stripe.
Yeah, but for kind of like the scruffy kids, that one. That's where I was. Yeah, Tiswas or Swap Shop.
Tiswas all day long. Absolutely bloody right.
This is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Grandstand or World of Sport.
Grandstand. That's probably not the right answer. Is it the right answer?
No, it is generally the right answer.
I couldn't do it.
Apart from when, say, Grandstand would throw a bit of horse racing on or something.
Yeah, that's the issue.
You'd flick over to see what World of Sport was doing.
Yeah, the ITV7. I was never interested in horse racing, and the ITV7 took a big chunk of World of Sport. So yeah, Grandstand.
Absolutely. Yeah, World of Sport only really on the ball. Yeah, fair enough.
On the ball,
as long as it didn't clash with Football Focus.
Yeah.
And the more esoteric stuff like the tractor pulling and stuff like that was worth log rolling and stuff like that. But,
Canadian lumberjacking.
Absolutely, things like that would hold the attention for 10 minutes until there was something more interesting over on Grandstand. The racing from Chepstow had finished over on Grandstand. No adverts as well, you see, Grandstand.
Quite right too.
Moving on to the football side of things, two passions for you. You've got Chelsea, you've got England. We're going to go for Chelsea to start with. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Jesus.
Give me an example of the good of Chelsea during the 1980s.
2 words: John Neal. John Neal rescued. I did a pod recently with Paul Mack, and I was talking about best Chelsea manager of all time. John Neal, massively honourable mention. Took over the club when they're in dire straits. Spent not a lot of money. He had to weasel it away from Ken Bates. Bought David Speedy, Kerry Dixon, Pat Nevin. Won the second division title. Got promoted. Just missed out on Europe qualification the first year there. Then he had a heart condition. He had to retire. And John Hollins took over. And it didn't it gradually fell away from there. But certainly the good, John Neal, top guy, top blooming guy.
Excellent. 1983-84 promotion from the second division.
Yep.
1984-85. An excellent returning season to the first division.
I think.
Yes, absolutely. I would have to throw in that kit as well.
The banded one.
Yeah, the kind of horizontal hold type thing. So I think some of us would go up and see if we were kind of like, was there something wrong with the TV at first?
I love that.
It was an absolutely fantastic kit. I actually had one of those shirts.
Good man.
Back in the 1980s, I mentioned this a few times as well, that before the concept of the hypermarket sports store, we just had the local high street sports shop. And they would sell the local football shirts. You could get those, but beyond that, there'd also be the utterly random shirts that were thrown in that were clearly just boxed off and shipped from area to area because they weren't shifted in one area. They'd move them on to the next, and they'd just do them basically on a rotation. And this is why we'd end up in the streets, and yes, we'd all have our Liverpool shirts, our Everton shirts, and all that type of stuff.
There'd also be, the random ones. I remember having an Anderlecht shirt. I had one of those Avco West Ham shirts. I had a Barcelona shirt and all sorts of stuff. And I remember one Christmas or birthday ended up with this Chelsea shirt, and it was the fact that it was Lecoq Sportif as well.
Yeah, Lecoq Sportif.
So I will throw that shirt into the mix for the good of Chelsea during the 1980s. And
Just
Lecoq Sportif was much cooler than Umbro, by the way.
Yeah, the change kit they had as well was yellow with a thin red band. Right. Which was iconic as well. So yeah.
A work of art. That's
a work of art.
The bad of Chelsea during the 1980s.
Holy moly!
Don't forget, we've got to go through the ugly yet. So you're gonna have to. There's a fine line here between what you're going to state as your bad and what you're going to state as your ugly. I think
I'll leave the ugly till last.
I'd say class the bad as on pitch.
Yeah,
your ugly needs to be off pitch.
Yeah, in the boardroom. Yeah, okay. I mean, so obviously, as I mentioned before, John Neal arrived. Well, it was in a terrible situation that nearly got relegated to the third division the year before. Well, third division. It's called now. What's it called now? League One.
The Division 3 on this. On this.
Of course, Division 3. Yeah. So they got relegated. I remember that's really so clearly devastating. You think you're never going to come back from there, but they did, and as I say, they got promoted. And Johnny Hollins took over from Neil when he left, and that was okay for a bit. Then he and his assistant was Ernie Wally fell out with a lot of the players, including the decent Speedy and Pat Nevin, John Spackman, and they ended up getting sold. And Spackman went to use good selves a while ago, and they basically fell away, and relegation followed again. So we got relegated twice. Well, nearly got relegated. Started in the second division, nearly got relegated third. Came back, got relegated again, and we just got promoted again before we ended up in 1990. So the bad certainly. We had some real dire times on the pitch.
Early 1980s, 82, 83 particularly ugly.
Yeah,
and that mad relegation of 87, 88. Top of the table as late as November-ish, and then contrived to be relegated. These have to be kind of like classed as the bad. The ugly.
Well, I guess there's two that are linked. Firstly, there was the hooliganism issues and the pitch invasions and all this sort of thing. It happened a couple of times, well, probably happened half a dozen times, as well as the fighting on the terraces. And then we had Uncle Ken and his electrified fence. Obviously, that was a bit of a response to the first ugly part of it, where obviously fences were around pitches, and he was going to put electrified wire across the top to stop people climbing over. Fortunately, the local council refused permission for him to do it. So, I mean, whether it was a stunt and he knew it wouldn't happen anyway, but that's, Bates was a bit of a renegade at that time. He bought the club for £1, literally for £1, and then, many years later, sold it to Rahman for, gotten paws and rubles. So, I mean, Ken Bates is a bit of a sort of Marmite figure to Chelsea fans. You like some of the things he did and you hate some of the things he did. And, the ugly thing, that bloody wire, I mean, it made us look like, the border of East Germany or something. I'll put the Berlin Wall up or something, but yeah, that was the ugly.
Excellent. Absolutely the choices I was looking for there. The Middlesbrough game in particular.
Oh, yeah.
The playoff debacle of 87-88 and yes, the iconic, controversial, call them what you will, Ken Bates electric fences. Start of 10 on Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay, quiz time. Okay, this is, for the purpose of the 1980s, we go 1979-80 to 1988-89. That's our remit at Your Boys Took Hell of a Beating. Of those 10 seasons, how many did Chelsea spend in the first division?
Including 89-90?
No.
6.
4.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Jesus wept.
Highest first division placing during the 1980s?
6th.
Absolutely. 1984-85 and again in 1985-86.
Yeah.
Lowest second division placing during the decade?
Well, that was the year they got relegated, so would there be 22 teams in that league then? So probably 17th?
Oh, close. I'm going to give you that. I'm giving you like a margin of error of one there, and that's 18th.
God, it was 18th. God, it was that 18th. Bad. Jesus.
Yeah, 18th, 1982-83. Across, and this is a ballpark estimate. I'm not expecting you to get this one spot on. Be interested to see how close you get to this one. Across all competitions, how many goals did Kerry Dixon score during both combined the 1983-84 promotion season and 1984-85 the return to the First Division. So across those 2 seasons, in all competitions, league and cups, how many goals did Kerry Dixon score across the breadth of those 2 seasons?
65.
Not bad. 70.
I know he's on fire.
He was. He absolutely was. He was a guarantee of goals at that point.
Yeah.
Chelsea's best FA Cup run during the 1980s. How far did they get? Bonus point if you can locate the season as well.
I know we lost to Sunderland in the League Cup semi-final.
That might be part of the next question.
Okay.
But that's okay. You're thinking ahead to the next question.
A short answer, Steve. I don't think we came that close. Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. Beat Liverpool en route in the 5th round, I think it was, at Stamford Bridge. Twice you knocked us out of the FA Cup within 4 years, 5 seasons.
Good show.
A wild guess at the season?
83.
Close, 81-82. Best League Cup run during the 1980s.
Oh,
Might have already parked up the right tree for this.
Yeah, a semi-final, which was crazy. It was the Clive Walker game. We'd sold Clive Walker to Sunderland, and I think they would need a relegation situation.
On the way down. Yep.
Yeah, and I think we lost 3-2 at home, and I think Walker's probably scored 2. It was a 2-leg thing, and I think we lost 2-0 at Sunderland as well. So, but we should have beaten Sunderland. Should have got to the final. But that would be the one.
Yeah, absolutely. You've already mentioned this one, so I'm gonna throw you a curveball because I was gonna ask you how much Ken Bates had bought the club for. You see, but I'm going to give you that point because you've already answered that question.
Okay.
Chelsea's lowest attendance of the decade, as far as I could find. So I could be wrong. I'm open to be kind of like corrected on this. Was in November 1988 against Bradford City, so relegated at the end of the 87-88 season. I'll give you a margin of error of 1,000.
God, it must be a low figure then. 8,927.
I'll give you a margin of error of 3,000. 5,341.
Jesus.
That, however, that discounts the fact that Chelsea played some games behind closed doors at the beginning of the 1988-89 season due to the events of the Middlesbrough game.
Yeah, true.
Leading into the next question, how many games did Chelsea play behind closed doors at the beginning of the 1988-89 season?
4.
6.
God, these are dark days, Stephen.
Chelsea's manager at the beginning, on New Year's Day 1980, who was Chelsea's manager?
The short answer, I can't remember. I know John Neal took over from him.
I'll give you a clue.
It's not Eddie McCready, is it?
It's not. But you've written a book. In my mind's eye, I'm pretty sure he's on the front cover of it. He's on the cover of it. I think it was your first non-self-published book.
Well, the first non-self-published book would be... That would be the Dutch book. It's not Cruyff. It's not Cruyff, is it? Oh, Stephen.
There was a book you wrote about England.
Okay. Well, there's 3 people on the cover. Beckham, but it was Bobby Moore. Jeff Hurst.
Jeff Hurst. Well done.
Jeff Hurst.
Saved the last second.
Jeez, I tell you what, Stephen, I remember this so well. Now it all comes back, flooding back. Jeff Hurst got the sack. He asked the club groundsman to go and cut his front lawn. Legend has it. I mean,
that is an excellent added fact there. I'm impressed. December 31st, 1989, who was the Chelsea manager?
Porterfield?
Bobby Campbell.
Oh, Bobby Campbell, yes, sorry, yes, of course.
Final question, and I'm not expecting you to get this one.
No,
but you'll get a point for taking a shot at it. Okay. April 1985, Ken Bates and his proposed electric fence. Pre-privatisation. Who was responsible for London's electricity at the time?
The MEB was the best.
And as a guess, you could, if there was a carry-on, film in the 1970s, early 1980s surrounding the provision of electricity, and Sid James was at the helm of it, I could imagine it being named this because it's just that formulaic. It's worth a guess.
London Electric. How many?
Oh, so close. London Electricity Board. I'm giving you that.
That's
I
it.
am totally giving you.
Okay.
Excellent. I'm round. I'm not doing the summing up on that, but I'm going to go for about 80% correct there. I'm impressed.
Thank you very much.
I'm very impressed. Moving on. England in the 1980s. Gives you a relationship with England of the 1980s.
I guess a lot of the chunks of the 1980s were covered by the Bobby Robson era, who I thought was, did really well for England. In World Cups, not in European Championships, England had this sort of disastrous relationship with the European Championship. And, they didn't play in the first one. I think they played the first one in 1966, where they lost to Yugoslavia. There was only just 4 teams playing: Italy, Yugoslavia, Russia, and England. And in that game, Alan Murray became the first England player to get sent off. The FA wanted to ban him. Ramsey wouldn't let him ban him, and instead Ramsey paid his fine. 66. So, but yeah, terrible. We didn't qualify in 82. 86, was that Italy? No, 84 would have been France when we didn't qualify when the great French team. 88, disastrous again. We got a draw with Ireland in the first game. Got massacred by Van Basten, destroying Tony Adams in the Dutch game. So we had really terrible European Championship. World Cup slightly different. 82, Ron Green would have taken England to Spain. Made a cardinal error that's been repeated so many times by England and managers taking injured players. Brooking, Keegan couldn't play until the second phase and weren't really fit till he came on late. But that started so well. Brian Robson in the first opening game scored, I think it's still the fastest goal in the World Cup history, I think, or it certainly was at the time. Got through. And it was performances there in that World Cup where they started off well and then gradually fell away. So I beat France 3-1. Only beat Kuwait 1-0. I can't remember the team we beat, but then again it sort of fell away. And then by the time the second stage, just got eliminated. 86 obviously is the Maradona hand of God situation. And then again England qualified quite comfortably under Robson. Played a couple of games where another injured player, Brian Robson, with his shouldering the burden, as it were, of England, and started badly. Then Robson reformed the team, and they got to the knockout stage and got past Paraguay, I think. Lineker scored a hat-trick against Poland in the last group game, one of the group games. Then we faced Argentina. That again could have been so close, and late on, Lineker nearly scored from ahead of Barnes. Was brilliant in that game. Came on, I think he came on as a sub. Absolutely tore the flank of the Argentine defence to pieces for 20 minutes or so, and could have been an equaliser. 1990, obviously, again, semi-final. You look at the games, and then again, weren't great performances, but we got through. Then it was penalties against the Germans. What are you going to do? 12 yards, penalties against the Germans. What are you going to do? So England, yeah, I say, in the European Championships, it was a bit of a scraping the barrel sort of situation, largely, even though they qualified, except for 84. But World Cup, 86 and 90, not too bad, as it were, not too bad. And, obviously in 90, they came as close as they've been since 66.
Okay, so give us your definitive good of England during the 1980s.
I guess, I was impressed with Robson. I've always had a lot of time with Robbie Robson. I want to meet the great man. I think he was a more than decent manager and a more than decent man manager as well. So I think, it'd be easy to go for Brian Robson, but I think Brian Robson became like a drug for England. He gave it the high, and then he sort of drowned away and dragged you down in the end when he wasn't sort of the player that he was in the past. Missed the World Cup in 1990 because of injury, and obviously, as I say, he sort of briefly appeared in 86 before the shoulder went again. So the good of England, I think 1990 perhaps success-wise, as in tournament success, not necessarily great football, although the emergence of Gascoigne obviously was great. Lineker perhaps is one of the goods of England in the 1980s.
Okay, in terms of games, I'll throw in 3-1 win in Budapest against
Hungary. Yeah, the ball stuck in the stanchion.
The ball stuck in the stanchion. Being 4-0 up against Yugoslavia in Belgrade in November 87 was truly startling. Having watched it through, remember watching that, coming back from school and watching that.
We were on holiday in the Hungary game. We were on holiday and I hired a TV. We were in a caravan, so we could afford in those days. I hired a TV, black and white TV, to watch the game, and the picture kept going to move the air all the time. But I remember that was iconic moments when, I think it was Brooking's shot that stuck in the stanchion.
It was Brooking, yeah.
Classic. Classic game, yeah. Classic iconic moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, same with the Chelsea one. Your bad needs to revolve around things on the pitch before we give a nod to the ugly off the pitch.
Yeah, the ugly is going to be quite similar to Chelsea's, except without the electric fence, I guess. But yeah, I mean, the bad, say, European Championships just seem to be fated. I say, didn't qualify 84, but the 88 on the field, I mean, it started okay. It's always going to be a difficult game against the Irish. It's almost like a domestic league game. But then it just sort of fell away, I'll say. The game against the Dutch, I think we scored first. I think Brian Robson scored first. I think we did the post as well. But the young Tony has been drafted in, and Van Batsen, although he hadn't played, he played in the early games for the Dutch, was selected and got a hat-trick. And the poor performances and went away. And I think after that, Robson suggested to the FA that he sort of moved on and suggested Brian Clough as his successor, but the FA stuck with him. So yeah, that was on the pitch. Disappointing times.
I'll throw in the inspiration for the title of this podcast.
Oh God, yes, I forgot about that.
England's inglorious defeat in El Salvador against Norway.
Lord Beaverbrook, Lord
what was it?
Nelson, Lady Diana.
Absolutely.
I've got him in my book. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
A joyous thing. Within that, I'd throw in the good as being that highly polarising Admiral kit at the start of the decade that England wore at both the 1980 European Championship and the 1982 World Cup. I love that kit.
It's an iconic kit. Yeah, it is an iconic kit.
It is. Some people absolutely despise. Again, Marmite type of thing, but I absolutely love that kit.
Agreed.
The ugly of England, it has to be the hooliganism again. There's no two ways about that. There were some ugly scenes. I think my early recollections of watching England were as much that Admiral kit as they were streams, clouds of tear gas and water cannons and all of that, and picturesque squares being laid to waste across picturesque areas of mainland Europe.
I think it was the game against Belgium in the European Championships, and when they put tear gas into the crowd because they were fighting, and it was drifting across the pitch, and they had to stop the game. And as you say, right, that's right. The classic sort of pictures from looks like they're taken from a second or third story window of these outside. I mean, bars outside, external bars are very familiar in Spain, but obviously across Europe as well. And tables and chairs being hurled, and in 1990, when the draw was taking place, England were intentionally put as one of the top seeds so they could be placed in Cagliari away from the mainland. Although, I think, was it the French that were bumped down to a second? I can't remember. A team with a better record bumped down to a second seed. Might have been Spain. So yeah, terrible. I mean, the sort of the spectre of English football sort of dragged on for a long time.
Absolutely. Your England start of 10. You prepared for this, Gary?
Okay.
The first goal that England scored in the 1980s, it came in a European Championship qualifier. It was at Wembley against Ireland. This game took place. It was something like 6th of February 1980. England won 2-0. The same player scored both goals. Who scored England's first goal at senior level of the 1980s? It won't be. Yeah, it's unsurprising who it is.
Is it Lineker?
No,
it's too early for Lineker. It's too early for Lineker.
And what he will have done, he'll have walked straight off the pitch, through the shower, run a probably a throw comb through his perm, splashed on a bit of Brute.
Oh, Keegan. Keegan, of course it is.
And headed back to Hamburg for the next Bundesliga game.
Incidentally, one of the things I should have mentioned when you said about the good about Chelsea, and that's when we're doing really well. We beat Keegan's Newcastle, and when they're on the sort of rise 5 plonk. That was a great game as well. Sorry, just remembered that one.
All tangents welcome.
Okay.
That summer of 1980, England played in the European Championship finals, the first major international tournament for 10 years. Which 3 nations did they face?
1980. Where was that, Steve? Where was it held?
This was Italy. So
okay. Yeah, Belgium.
Belgium and the crowd disturbances, the tear gas and everything. Played 2 more games.
Italy,
yeah. Late winner for Marco Sardelli. and then they finished the group. They could no longer progress, certainly not to the final. I think if results had gone a certain way, with a win and results going a certain way, they could have played the third place playoff, but it wasn't to be.
They won last game, didn't they? One last game. It was Spain.
It was Spain. Well done. That tournament, England scored 3 goals. 1 against Belgium, 2 against Spain. Hazard a guess at who got those goals?
Well, Wilton scored against Belgium.
An excellent goal it was as well.
He lobbed the goalkeeper.
Yep, that's right.
I'm going to go with Keegan.
Not Keegan. We have mentioned, not Brian Robson. We have mentioned him in regards to that stanchion in Budapest a year later. Brooking, yeah. And the other one at this time is also playing his football in West Germany.
Tony Woodcock.
Tony Woodcock.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Tony Woodcock.
England qualify disjointedly for the 1982 World Cup, I think we'd have to say. On the final night at Wembley, Romania have qualification the palm of their hands, and they blow it over the course of the last 3 games. This is after England have lost in Oslo. All looks lost, but then Stefan Kovacs, of all people, is Romania absolutely shoot themselves in the foot repeatedly over the next couple of games, opening the door for England, and they play Hungary again on the final qualifier at Wembley.
I remember. Yep.
It's a 1-0 win for England.
Paul Mariner.
Who gets the goal? Paul Mariner.
It's a terrible goal as well. It's a shot. I think it's Brooking has a shot. It's going to hit the corner flag, and it hits him on the foot and goes in.
Yeah. That's right. It kind of hits him and goes into the back of the net. Yeah. But that's the goal that takes England to the 1982 World Cup. England go to Spain. They're unbeaten. They win 2, draw 2, win their first 3 group stage games, draw the second phase group stage games. Which 5 nations did they face in Spain?
France in the first game.
Yep.
Kuwait. Was it the Czechs?
It was, yeah. That's the first 3 group stage games.
Spain and Germany.
Well done. Excellent work. England failed to qualify for the 1984 European Championships, and the finger of blame is generally pointed at the loss to Denmark at Wembley.
Yeah.
However, there was another game at Wembley, goalless draw, that was equally as culpable. Had England won that game against Greece, they would have qualified. They ended up finishing a point behind Denmark with a superior goal difference because of that 9-0 win against Luxembourg. So that draw against Denmark was just as crucial to the outcome.
True.
The summer of 1984, no Euros. Where did England go, and who did they face instead of heading to France?
Did they go to South America?
They did go to South America.
And they played
3 games.
Uruguay.
Yep.
Argentina.
Wasn't Argentina.
Okay.
Falklands War had not long ago.
Oh, of course. That was Stupid Gary. Yeah. Was it Brazil?
It was Brazil. John Barnes scored that goal.
Was it Paraguay?
It was Chile. Good guess. Yeah, it was Chile. It was an abject goalless draw. I think it was that last one.
By the way, I think that, am I right, that game against the Danes, was it Simonson penalty?
It was. It was an Alan Simonson penalty. That's right.
Yeah.
On a night when I think Elkiar was unavailable.
That's right, yeah.
A 19-year-old Michael Laudrup
played.
Played exceptionally well that night. Yeah. 1986 World Cup. England play 5 games. Can you name them?
Yeah, I think so. Morocco. No,
Yep.
where's Morocco? Yeah. Poland.
Yep. You've got their opening game of the group stages you're missing there, and the knockout stage game.
Portugal. Lost 1-0 to Portugal.
Portugal, that's right.
A right rick by Shilton. The ball come across.
Yes.
And Diamantino or something his name is, put on the far
That's
post.
the fella, yeah.
Okay, so that was that. The game against Morocco was when Ray Wilkins got sent off.
He did.
I think it was also the game when the shoulder went from Robson's shoulder. He's okay.
The 2 incidents happened within a minute or so of each other. Ray Wilkins was actually still tromping his way around the side of the pitch towards the dressing rooms as Robson gets himself injured.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a very damaging 90 seconds or so.
And after that, Robson changed, because I think Mark Haitley had played, and he changed the system to bring Lineker in and Peter Beardsley. And all of a sudden you got a match made in heaven, and Lineker scored 3 goals in that game. And I think they're pretty well. I think I'm right. Well, I think one was a goalkeeper fumble. I think the others were both near post. He drew the defender out back to the far stick, because Lineker also used to do this. He'd take him to the far stick and bring him to the near stick. And Steve Hodge, I think, crossed for one. Did Beardsley create the other one? But Bloody got a hat-trick anyway. The plaster cast on his hand.
That's right. Yeah, Trevor Stephen did played very, very well in that game.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So who did England go on to face in the knockout stages? Paraguay. And then obviously it all finished with Argentina.
I think they won 2-0. It was 3-0 against Paraguay, 3-1. I think did Butcher score, Beardsley and Lineker. And Beardsley got one of the Paraguayans gave him a elbow in the throat and damaged his larynx. Yeah,
that's right. You've already answered this one, kind of. England scored 3, 6, 8 goals at the
3, 5, 6. Yeah, sounds like that, Roger. 8.
Yeah, 8. No, 7 goals. Sorry, at the 1986 World Cup.
Okay.
2 against Poland, 3 against Paraguay,
3 against Poland,
3 against Paraguay.
Yeah.
And 1 against Argentina.
Yeah.
Gary Lineker scored 6 of those to obtain the Golden Boot. Only one other player scored for England at the 1986 World Cup. You've already stated that in a way, but can you? Yeah, it was
Beardsley. Tony Butcher. But Tony Butcher scored.
It was it was Peter Beardsley.
Okay.
Yeah, it was indeed Peter Beardsley. I think Gary Lineker was off the pitch injured at the time, receiving treatment as Beardsley kind of like.
Actually, yeah, I think it was Tony Butcher's shot. The goalkeeper fumbled it out and Beardsley put it in. I think that's yeah.
That's right. Okay. The 3 teams that England played at Euro 88 you've already mentioned, with being Ireland, the Netherlands and the Soviet Union. England scored 2 goals at that tournament, conceded 7.
Yeah.
Who scored the 2 England goals at the 1988 Euro?
Lineker against Ireland and Brian Robson against the Dutch.
No, it wasn't Gary Lineker against Ireland. England lost that 1-1
0. Sorry.
Robson did score against the Netherlands, but they got 1 against the Soviet Union.
I'm thinking about the World Cup when they played on the World Cup. That's when he scored that goal, isn't he? Yeah,
that's
sorry.
right.
Yeah, I'm confused there. Yeah. So
you did mention this player, young defender that was kind of hung out to dry.
Adams.
That's on Tony Adams. Tony Adams indeed got that goal for England against the Soviet Union. Final question in this one. We've already mentioned that Keegan scored the first goal for England of the 1980s. Who scored the last goal for England of the 1980s? You did mention this player in regards to potentially being the scorer of the first goal of the 1980s.
Lineker's a safe bet at that time.
No, it's not. It's not. Not that one. It's more of an injury-prone.
Oh, Robson. I mean, if you're looking at England goal scorers towards the tail end of the 80s, if it's not Lineker, it's Brian Robson, and vice versa. Yeah.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff. Name this. We'll finish off with the name game.
Okay.
Chelsea reached the first full Members' Cup final in 1986.
Yes.
Little forgotten. They played Manchester City in a 9-goal 5-4. Yeah. What goes forgotten is both teams played the previous day as well. They played league games the previous day, and then went to Wembley to contest the Members' Cup final on the Sunday. 13 players on duty for Chelsea that day. 2 unused substitutes. This is the first instance in English football of 2 substitutes being allowed for a tournament. Really. Name as many of the Chelsea players on duty in that 13 for Chelsea. So we're talking April, was it March or April 1986?
Okay. I remember Tony Dorigo scored a great free kick. So
that was the next full Members' Cup final that Chelsea played.
Okay.
Yeah, we played Middlesbrough, I think, 1990. And that was where the Dorigo free kick was.
Okay, here we go then. So Edin Izveki?
It was not Edin Izveki.
Okay, let's move further forward.
Must have been. I think he was injured at this point in time. I think Chelsea 85-86 seemed to play a different goal.
Kevin Hitchcock.
No, it was Steve Francis.
Oh, Steve, you could have made it up and I wouldn't have known, mate. No recollection at all.
I remember Tony Godden playing. I remember, as you mentioned, later on, Hitchcock was some Freestone later on, and all sorts of stuff. But Steve Francis completely and utterly slipped my memory banks there.
Wow,
vaguest of recollections.
Yeah. So 86. So was Dixon probably still there? I guess.
Dixon's a Chelsea player, but he doesn't play in this. I don't know whether he's injured or whether they just left him out and thought better of it.
I'm going to struggle here, matey. Is Joey Jones there?
No Joey Jones in this one.
God, this is terrible. It's embarrassing. 86. Pat Nevin would have been gone by then, I would think.
No, Pat Nevin is one. Yeah, at number 7.
Spatman there as well then?
Nigel Spatman, number 8.
The Speedy still there?
David Speedy at number 10.
John McLaughlin.
John McLaughlin, number 5. Oh, on a roll now, Gary.
Yeah, must have brought all things to the road now. Gordon Jury.
No Gordon Jury.
Bit before Gordon Jury, probably.
Yeah, just a little bit before Gordon Jury.
Trying to think of place. Mickey Droy.
Not Mickey Droy. You still need much of your defence. There was a player at number 6 who, as a high school student, a young high school student at this time, we all used to laugh at every time he was referenced because he just had a traditionally comedy name. And for someone who has got a comedy name, I appreciate a comedy name because part of his surname is it's a bodily part. That's probably one of the most comedy bodily parts.
Oh, John Bumstead.
John Bumstead.
Yeah.
At number 6.
Jeez.
You've got a central defender who would later go on to play for Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Pates.
Colin Pates.
I think he was captain.
Yeah, he was captain that day.
Yeah. Was Hall there at the time?
No, Hall wasn't there. You've got a Scottish left back.
Oh, Doug Reevy.
You've got a decent striker who played for Tottenham.
Not Jury, because Jury
earlier in his career.
Oh, he came from Tottenham. Is Graham Roberts in the side? I know he's not the striker, but is Graham Roberts there now?
Graham Roberts isn't in
bit
this
early
one.
for that. Bit early for that. Yeah.
One of your substitutes was kind of. I used to rate him very highly. A fine midfielder, but was often kind of the understudy to Glenn Hoddle at Tottenham.
Or Mickey Hazard.
Mickey Hazard was your number 12 that day. Your other substitute that even I'd find hard to get was Keith Dublin.
I'm friends with Mickey Hazard on Facebook, actually.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're missing one defender and a striker.
Okay, so the striker used to play for Tottenham, and he played for Chelsea. He probably must have scored in this game as well. I guess he's scored 5 times. So, not Mark Steen.
He would have been at this point in time 29. Yeah, he played for Tottenham. He came to you directly from Tottenham in 1980.
So so he was there in the bad times.
Yeah,
as well,
he was at Chelsea from between 1980 and 1987. Well, I mean, I say striker, but one of these midfielder that could be pushed up front. I think he played up front in this game for me on the basis that Dixon was not.
God, he was there for 7 years. I ought to know that. Blimey heck.
Yeah, he kind of made the breakthrough mid-70s, played on till the very late 1980s, winding down his career at Brentford. Went on to manage at Watford, Wolves, Torquay United.
Oh, Colin Lee, of course. He played in a game where he scored 5 goals in one game, and he also used to wear Japanese boots. They were orange. He wore Japanese. Yeah, interesting. I think it was Burnley he played against, and he scored 5 goals, and he used to live somewhere that neck of the woods. And he was on the train with some Burnley fans going back home. And he just kept his mouth shut, he said. Didn't put his hat down over his eyes so nobody recognised him. Colin Lee.
He effectively scored the winning goal in this game. He scored twice. David Speedy got a hat-trick. Man City's mad late comeback. They scored 3 goals in the last 5 minutes, including a Revion goal that brought it in really, really close. You've got one more to get. Left-sided midfield. Scottish left-sided midfielder, had not long joined Chelsea at this point, would go on to play over 100 league games. Wasn't a Scotland international, never made it to international. Bit of I'd class him as a winger rather than a wide midfielder.
Left side, so it's not Walker, is it now?
But you could say that he was Home Alone.
If it's titled the character, I don't know the character's name in the film. I don't know, Steve. I can't remember.
Kevin McAllister.
Oh, Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, okay, and for the final one, name as many players as you can from Ron's 22 at the 1982 World Cup.
Okay, Shilton Clements. Joe Corrigan, I think, was the... Didn't he number them 1, 11 and 22? I think
that's correct, yeah.
Okay, Mick Mills. No,
Mills is in there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Robson, Paul Mariner, Wilkins, McFarland, Foster played.
Steve Foster, yeah.
Steve Foster played in the second game. Keegan, obviously.
Keegan, yeah.
Brookin.
Yep, looking.
Defenders. Kenny Sansom.
Kenny Sanson,
Terry Butcher.
Terry Butcher. You've got 12 out of the 22 so far. It's a good start.
Steve Hodge in there?
Not Steve Hodge. You've got a central defender, 2 right backs.
Colin Todd?
Not Colin Todd.
2 right backs.
Yeah, 2 right backs, a central defender. In fact, England's alpha central defender at this World Cup, I would class him as being, given that Butcher was still up and coming as such at international level.
Ron
In
McFarland?
fact, Butcher went into this tournament never having played a competitive senior international. He'd only played in friendlies up to this point.
I suppose it'd be the sort of number 6 rather than the number 5 in that case then.
So the most experienced central defender you're missing, yeah, at this point in terms.
It's one of those. I'm going to go. Of course.
Yeah. You've also got a couple of central midfielders, a couple of wingers, and 3 strikers.
Peter Barnes.
Not Peter Barnes. He missed out on the squad. He was
Steve
one
Coppell.
of those. Steve Coppell. Yeah.
Gordon Hill wouldn't be in it, would he? Would Gordon Hill be in it?
No, your other winger is playing his club football in North London at this point in time.
Is Tony Woodcock in there?
Tony Woodcock is in there, but that's not the North London-based winger.
Left-sided forward, North London. So Arsenal, Tottenham, then I presume.
Yeah, he got his place in the squad ahead of Tony Morley to much rancor for a lot of football watchers, largely based on Don Howe's preference for his
for his Arsenal players,
more controllable kind of.
Right. Yeah, okay. It can work back as well.
Yeah, there was that kind of vibe to it. It was kind of like Morley was seen as too much of a free spirit through the eyes of Don Howe at this point. I think you've got 2 exceptionally talented central midfielders that played very little football. In fact, one of them didn't get on the pitch at all. The other one started one game and started the Q8 game. I think he made 1 substitute appearance as well.
Is Viv Anderson in the squad?
Viv Anderson is in the squad. That is one of the 2 right backs that you're missing.
I said Mick Mills, but I think Mick Mills was in.
Well, this was the mad thing, because Mick Mills, because of the lack of Keegan, Mills was handed the captaincy.
That's right,
He kind of had, it was like he had to play. So although he wasn't a natural right back, Mills played this tournament at right back ahead of 2 natural right backs, which was the lunacy. The other right back you're looking for, I think he started the Q8 game as well.
I'm trying to think who Anderson was vying for permission for the position in that tournament. Steve, I'm struggling here, brother. Yeah, I mean, how to get the central defender? The central defender must be the obvious one.
Okay,
is it Russell Osman?
It's not Russell Osman. He's another one that missed out on the squad. Okay, your 2 defenders that you're missing, your right back and your centre back, they share the same first name, and they played for the same club in the northwest of England. That was very successful and played in red.
It's Chris Lawler. No, that's been no. Oh, for God's sake, Gary Gillespie. Gary Stevens.
Your right back scores penalties plenty.
Not Dix. Not Julian Dix.
No. It's Phil.
Oh, Phil Thompson. Bloody hell, centre half. Jeez, Gary.
And then you've
Phil Neal. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. Apologies to all Anfield followers there. Jeez,
you have got another Liverpool player. This is your central midfielder. Who didn't get a minute on the pitch in Spain that summer.
Samuel Lee?
But no, it was Terry McDermott.
Oh, Terry McDermott,
You have a glaring omission in central midfield beyond Terry McDermott, however, that you've not mentioned.
Wilkins?
Not Wilkins, you've mentioned Wilkins, but this central midfield played his football in North London. So you're missing a couple of North London players. One who's just won the European Cup, a striker who's just won the European Cup.
That's Forest then. Oh, is it North London? You won the European Cup?
No, not your North London player.
Sorry, somebody else. Gary Birtles?
Not Gary Birtles, he missed the squad as well.
Davenport?
Your European Cup winner, he's just scored the winning goal in the European Cup final against Bayern Munich in Rotterdam. In fact, when we were talking earlier on about Paul Mariner's almost accidental goal that sent England to the 1982 World Cup.
Let me get my brain again. Bayern Munich.
The 1982 European Cup final, he kind of like gifted an open goal.
Peter With.
He shinned
Peter
it in
With.
and almost managed to miss it.
He hit the post, didn't he? Peter With.
In off the post, yeah. In off the post, off his shin, in off the post.
Peter With.
You have now got 3 to go. 2 playing their football in North London, either side of that divide. Your central midfielder at White Hart Lane and your winger at Highbury.
Oh, Hoddle.
Glenn Hoddle.
I can't believe I forgot Hoddle. Sorry, apologies to all Tottenham fans as well.
That was your glaring central midfielder.
It was, yeah.
Your left winger, let's just say, there's later Chelsea connections. If he actually played for Chelsea or not as well, but more on the coaching role. Let's just say his relationship with football came to a bit of a controversial ending.
Oh, Graham Ricks.
Graham Ricks, erring towards,
Best not said. Best not said.
We'll leave it there.
Leave it there.
Yeah, Operation, yeah. I think we all know that one. And one more, a striker, but could play on the wing. His best days arguably played in the Midlands at his first club. Broke through as a highly talented, precocious teenager. Went on to win a European Cup over towards the East Midlands.
Oh, for God's sake, Gary, you're such a moron. Trevor Francis, and that's your 22. He even scored. I think he's Trevor Francis.
Yeah, he scored against. I think he's got the goal against Kuwait.
I think he scored. Yeah.
So your full rundown of Ron's 22 at the 1982 World Cup. Pete Shilton, Ray Clements, Joe Corrigan, Mick Mills, Phil Neal, Viv Anderson, Kenny Sanson, Phil Thompson, Terry Butcher, Steve Foster, Brian Robson, Ray Wilkins, Glenn Hoddle, Terry McDermott, Trevor Brookings, Steve Coppell, Graham Ricks, Kevin Keegan, Trevor Francis, Paul Mariner, Tony Woodcock, and Peter With. Trevor Morley should have gone. So Tony Morley, not Trevor Morley.
Trevor Morley, not Trevor Morley. Trevor Morley was in contention now.
he was probably still kind of like getting his sticker buckles and his panini stickers. Gary, I can pleased to say that you've got the job.
Oh, thank you very much. Can I ask what the starting salary is, please? And are the bonuses?
The starting salary is 2 buttons and a sandwich of your choice.
Thank you very much. That was good fun, actually. I really enjoyed that.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, we will look forward to your inclusion in your debut module that we look forward to. Thank you so much, Gary. Enjoyed it?
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, great fun. Always great fun talking about football with mates.
Excellent stuff. All that leaves me to say is thank you for listening. Do please spread the word about Your Boys Took a Hell of a Beating. And we'll be back very soon. Thank you and goodbye.